History is very telling. Number of school shootings ballooned over the past 20 years, as have the number of school resource officers on campus. Alex Vitale, a sociologist at the City University of New York, said the idea that a standard armed school police officer is going to stop someone in that situation has proven not to be true time and time again. And he noted that police and security guards are often the first casualties in mass shooting events. Joining me on the morning show, Marc Schindler, executive director of the Justice Policy Institute in the nation's capital. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. I know you co-authored a report for the Brookings Institution, and the study found no evidence that having police in schools makes schools safer or prevents school shootings. So SROs, not the way to go?
Unfortunately, not the way to go. I mean, if it worked, it would be great, but there's no evidence to show that it does work. And in fact, unfortunately, there's evidence to show that there's unintended consequences of having police in schools. What we see is that where there are police in schools, kids are more likely to be suspended and expelled, and more likely to be referred to the juvenile justice system, what many refer to as the school to prison pipeline. And these negative impacts fall disproportionately on young people of color. So in many ways, unfortunately, we get the worst of both worlds. We get no improvements to school safety, and we get some really damaging effects to young people, particularly young people of color.
But in some cases, does the SRO's presence help foster better relationships with the students when it comes to police relationships in general?
You know, that's possible, although it's a lot of money to spend for that. Really, what we see is that the best way to improve school safety is to create a culture where kids feel trusted and where they can trust adults. And we see that that happens more often than not when you have trained counselors and social workers. You know, when school officials, when county officials are making budget decisions, that's where they should be making their investments. School police officers are more expensive than counselors and social workers, and they don't get the results that we want.
That said, I know that at the Justice Policy Institute, the school of thought is the police presence is often counterproductive, as you just said. Things that would have us in the principal's office when we were kids are escalated, I guess is the best word.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So things where you and I, when we were in school, the types of behaviors that might result in a trip to the principal's office today, too often actually results to a trip to the police precinct. And so we're criminalizing our young people. And it's having very negative effects with kids being suspended and expelled. And so we can do a lot better. We do know the types of services and supports that young people need. And that's the type of things we should be investing in, particularly these days when we're coming out of 2+ years of a pandemic. We know that the mental health needs for young people are even more so than they were before. And before the pandemic, we didn't have enough mental health supports in schools. So we should be doubling down on those types of investments, not on school police.
So let's expand on that a bit more. Is that what will keep schools and our kids safe?
It will be what will make our schools safer. There's no guarantee. This is hard work. And so we need to put in the work. But unfortunately, school police, I would refer to as more policy by soundbite. It sounds appealing. It sounds like it'll work, but unfortunately, the research just doesn't bear that out. And we see in these school shootings time and again, where we have police officers there on site, it doesn't prevent those types of incidents. And so we need to do the hard daily work to make sure that kids have adults they can trust, adults that they feel comfortable talking to, and that'll be the type of thing that'll make our schools safer.
And we know the reality, there's a lack of resources for education funding. Do we as a society have to sit back and confront some very harsh realities and decide what our priorities are here?
We absolutely do. And of course, police are an important part of the public safety strategy. And so we're not saying that we shouldn't have police available to respond to schools, that there shouldn't be relationships that are built between school administrators and police departments. But we have to figure out where our resources can be spent most effectively. And we shouldn't be asking police to do things that they're not trained or equipped to do. And so in schools, when we need counseling, when we need social work, those are the types of things that trained counselors and social work should be doing. We shouldn't be asking police to sort of fake it and do those jobs. They should be out in the community doing what they can to prevent and respond to crime. and the best place for them is not in schools.
So maybe we're being a bit myopic and we have to look at a bigger picture. Marc Schindler, I appreciate your time and your expertise.
My pleasure.